So right now they're trying to do damage control because there's a lot of social media clips leaking out saying that the cops are around doing nothing. Parents were being arrested. So right now they're too busy trying to do damage control because there are a lot of clips right now exposing their false flag attack, that everything was staged, that the police and all the state officials were in on it. They're not going to get away with this because with the plan's frequency, social media, YouTubers and people who have an independent critical thinking mind, everything's going to be exposed for the collective to be aware. None of their plans are going to work. Q has also dropped intel informing us that a lot of these massacres, there's always Freemasons that show up doing interviews, showing up with their trucks and just being on the scene. So this is also giving indication that, you know, this is a Freemason job. They're all in it and they're doing it to retaliate against the alliance for their massive drop right now against the Clinton crime family and as well as the Biden crime family. Okay, so you know, in Toronto there's also been a shooter that was stopped. Canada is having its own problem. Police shot a man in his early 20s, maybe late teens. He was on the street carrying a rifle. This happened north of Lawrence in Toronto. So they are trying to stage another false flag attack in Canada as well too, to clog up the news cycle, to cause more trauma for the people. So expect a lot of this type of chaos to be happening right now as more development is being released regarding Clinton and her crimes. Soon it's going to be Obama as well too. So a lot of the crimes that the cabal don't want the collective to know about, it's going to be released right now. So we're going to have more Antifa riots, BLM. Right now you have protesters protesting against NRA. They want rifles and guns to be removed. You gotta make sure you discuss and tell these people what they're saying makes absolutely no sense, because share with them that analogy with a car. Just because a mentally ill person decides to get in a car and go and, you know, into a crowd, should we also get rid of cars too? Because it's going to happen. The cabal will plan this. That will be their next move. If they're successful in removing people's gun rights and gun ownership, the next phase will be probably now planning vehicles, restricting vehicles, getting people who are mentally ill, drugged up, allowing them to take vehicles and driving them into crowded places, so that way it's generating a reaction that they're looking for to restrict people's freedoms and rights. You have to smarten up to it, be aware of their plans, and spread the news so people are aware that if they are successful in removing gun ownership from America, that's it. That's game over for America. Right now, America needs to stay strong. They need to have their weapons available. They need to have that right to bear arms to defend themselves, because you know the cabal is doing everything possible to remove that gun ownership, so that way the cabal can just completely take over and destroy America from within. We can't allow America to fall because it is that important for the planet's survival. Okay. Start to release information about Hillary's crimes, Obama's crimes, a lot of these cabal members' crime. The cabal is going to retaliate with these type of attacks. It's going to be a lot of weather attacks, fires. You're gonna expect BLM and Antifa to come out. Riots is gonna come up. We expect a lot of massacres that's happening. So that way they're continuing bombarding to traumatize the collective, but also keeping the news focused and distracted on other stories. So that way people are not tuning in to Hillary Clinton being exposed for her crimes. Right now, not many people are giving that much attention and focus to Hillary's crimes of being involved in orchestrating as well as authorizing this Russian hoax that she perpetrated against Donald Trump. You know, so in Canada, they are preoccupied with either the train derailment that happened in Alberta, where a lot of fertilizers were destroyed, or they're talking about the weather attack that destroyed houses and homes and killing 11 people. So a lot of these news in other areas in Canada and as well as the US, they are clogged up with different stories that is preventing people from tuning in from what is being exposed right now regarding Hillary Clinton. This Texas school shooting is exactly that. It is a cabal retaliation for the alliance now moving into their phase of exposing the cabal's crime on mainstream primetime news. You know, back 3 years ago when I told people that Hillary Clinton was going to be arrested, she's going to be publicly persecuted, and her crimes are going to be exposed, nobody believes me. Nobody believed this was going to happen. As a matter of fact, back in February, here's an article from Fox News. They didn't even believe that Hillary Clinton was going to be prosecuted and be exposed like the way she is right now, because she was, you know, untouchable. She was immutable. In order for her to be exposed for her crimes, there have to be a lot of minions that was working for her agreeing to rat her out, which is what's happening right now. This is why she's being publicly humiliated, exposed for her crimes, because a lot of people that were working under her, from her lawyers to the Clinton campaign managers, they are all ratting on her because the real one's dead, obviously. This is the reason why they're turning on her, in order for the clone or the actor to take the fall. But now they don't have that fear of being assassinated. The Clintons are no longer generating that kind of fear for the lower level cabal members. So they are ratting them out, and as a result, she is now being exposed for all her crimes. So this is amazing, exactly what Q was predicting. We're in the timeline that she is now being exposed on primetime news. I'm going to share with you a clip right now from Jesse Waters from Fox News exposing her crimes to the collective. Here's the clip.
Fox News alert, Hillary Clinton has been directly connected to the Russia hoax. Hillary's former campaign manager, a guy named Robbie Mook, a typical Clinton crony name if you've ever heard one, was testifying under oath. And Durham got him to spill his guts. The Mook admitted that Hillary Clinton personally approved pushing a fake story about Trump and the Russians. The story was about Trump and a Russian bank, and the story was made up. And the people on Clinton's side knew it was made up because they're the ones who made it up. Mook was shaky on the stand today. He testified that the Clinton campaign wasn't totally confident the story was real, because it wasn't, but they wanted the media to write about it anyway. Mook asked Hillary if she wanted him to plant the story with a reporter. Hillary said yes. And then when it hit the internet, she retweeted it, spreading the Russia hoax like wildfire. By the way, that tweet right there, blatant disinformation. It's still up on Twitter. But if you tweet that there's only two genders, that gets wiped out. And while all this was happening, Hillary was paying her lawyer, Michael Sussman, to trick the FBI into opening an investigation into Trump based off the same bogus claims. Has there ever been a dirtier politician than Hillary Clinton? And if I were Robbie Mook and I just ratted out Hillary on the stand, I'd hire a food tester.
The alliance decided to target Hillary Clinton. All the power is stripped from the countries who was going to be dictating everything. Well, guess what? The White House was not having any of that. They bombed Geneva airport. So when I heard this story, I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe what I was hearing. I thought I was watching a movie that this happened. So that's why I had to actually look into it and actually see if this actually took place. I want to share with you a clip. Here's the clip. And then I went on Yahoo just to make sure if this actually took place. And sure enough, the White Hats bombed Geneva airport and bombed several other buildings to make sure that the cabal had no places to do any type of meetings, no airports to fly out, so they're all trapped in Geneva. So this was a great plan. I can't believe they were this smart to come up with this plan. I mean, you can't expect nothing but the best from the Alliance and Q. They come up with the best strategies and plan because, you know, they have the best intel from source, also from the Galactus helping them. So this is actually an ingenious plot because now all these cabal members are in Geneva. They flew in with their private jets and everything. They were supposed to sign this agreement. And if they bomb the airport and they bomb all these buildings, that means now more arrests can take place with all the cabal members in a centralized location. Now they're stuck, they're sitting ducks. So this is fantastic news. A lot of people were actually concerned about this agreement that they were going to sign, giving all the power to who. But now we see that the White Hats were all over this. None of this was going to be happening, not on their watch. So I'm super happy to report to you this news. This goes to show to you that this war is far from over. The White Hats are working very hard behind the scene to put an end to all the cabal's maneuvers, stopping all their plans, and now trapping a lot of the cabal members in strategic locations so that way they can continue to do more mass arrests.